Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about basic selection tools in Photoshop. These are the basic selection tools which we are going to discuss today with some examples. Let's split these three as sections like section 1, 2 and 3 and let's discuss. Before that, check all the selection tools are available in the tools panel, because if the workspace is selected different, then there is a possible that tools can't be seen in the panel. So reset the workspace and keep essential default. Let's start. First, go to File, open the image and select it and give Open. Now zoom it using Alt plus scroll button in the mouse or press Ctrl plus in the keyboard. Select the rectangular marquee tool and we are going to see two methods for removing the text from the image shown. Method 1. Select the rectangular marquee tool and select the place which we need to remove. Click and drag the rectangular marquee tool, and if we need to move the selection, take the cursor in the middle of the selection and move, or press spacebar in the keyboard and use arrow keys with that to move the selection. Okay, selection is done. If you want to unselect the area which you have selected, press Alt in the keyboard and drag the area which you want to. If you press Alt and check in the menu section, it toggles between the sections. Or don't press anything in the keyboard, go to menu section, press subtract the selection and drag the unwanted selection. Selection is done. Now use eyedropper and pick the color which we are going to fill inside the selection. Use Alt plus backspace shortcut to apply foreground color. To toggle between the foreground and background, use X in the keyboard. Now we have applied the color and the text is being removed. To get rid of the selection, use Ctrl plus D in the keyboard. Method 1 is done. Let's see method 2. For that, give Ctrl Z to undo and multiple times undo, use Ctrl plus Alt plus Z. Now create a new layer in the layers panel. Use Ctrl plus Shift plus N to create a new layer. Change the name if needed. We are going to edit the text, so select the new layer. Use rectangular marquee tool and select the area which we are going to remove. If we want to unselect the area, use Alt and drag or use menu section. Now to add the selection like extra selection, go to menu option, click the second option called add to selection and click and drag. That's it. Use eyedropper and select the color which we want to fill and use paint bucket or foreground or background color shortcut to fill the selection. To get rid of the selection, use Ctrl D. You can think, what is the difference between these two methods? If you use a new layer and edit anything, the original source does not get any damage. Before, in first method, we edited in source image itself. If we save the file, we will face the problems. So always before editing, create a layer or duplicate it. The shortcut for duplicate is Ctrl J. About elliptical marquee tool, we can use this tool to select and remove anything from the document if it is round, and use of these tools are similar. Let's start discussing about section 2, Lasso Tools. More or less it's similar as rectangular and elliptical tools. Let's see what these tools do. Lasso and Polygon Lasso tool both are similar. Like if you want to remove anything from the document or to increase the selection or to decrease the selection, we can use these tools. Let's use Lasso tool and remove the text which is placed in the document. Select using Lasso tool, create a new layer and use eyedropper to pick the color. Use X to toggle between foreground and background. Now apply the color. To get rid of the selection, use Ctrl plus D. If we create a new layer and edit anything, it will not damage the source image. Let's see what does Polygon Lasso tool do. Both the rectangular marquee tool and Polygon Lasso tool are the same. Creating new layer and selecting the text and removing it, I'm going to do the same process because the selection tool are used for these kind of small editing process. Using these tools, we can also remove the character, but it doesn't work like pen tool and quick selection tools. As we spoke about removing the character from the image, the magnetic lasso tool can be used because it uses the image pixel and select the character. To select the character and remove it from the image, we have to select the source image and we should do the selection. Have a look how I use magnetic tool and select the character. We are also going to use Lasso tool for minor selection in the character. Selection is done. Now press Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V in the keyboard. The selected character or anything in the document which is selected, it will be pasted in the new layer. This is all about section 2 Lasso tools. Let's jump to section 3. Quick Selection tool and Magic Wand tool. These two tools are very important tools in Photoshop. So we are going to create a new document and now place the background image. Now let's place the cartoon image. Select the cartoon image layer and we are going to use Quick Selection tool and remove the character. Have a look. To increase and decrease the size of the selection tool, use open brace and close brace and select the character properly. Now, if you see there, a small part is left out in the character. If we did not remove that small part, then the background is not removed perfect. So let's remove that. To select that, use Shift and select the particular area. The whole character is being selected now. You can copy and paste. But if you are planning to cut or delete the character, you can't do it. If we do any one of this process, a warning dialog box will appear and will pass us a message saying that first rasterize the layer, it can be deleted because it's a smart object. So to delete and cut the character, we have to change that layer into rasterize format. That is, we have to change the image into Photoshop format. Then only we can edit the image. So for that, we have to right click the image layer, and if you see there the option called rasterize layer, if we give that, the layer will rasterize and the image is now editable. Now we can cut the image and delete the image. To paste the image, we will use Ctrl+V, but if we use Ctrl+Shift+V, which we copied, will paste in the place. This is how we use Quick Selection tool for basic selections and replacing the background or removing something from an image. For advanced selection and removing image and replacing the background, we can use all these selection tools. I'll explain you with another example later. Now let's see what's the use of Magic Wand tool. Magic Wand tool is really a magic tool when it comes with like removing the solid background images. Let's take this image as an example. You can see that the image has a solid color background. So let's remove the background. For that, select the Magic Wand tool and do one click in the place where you have to remove it. Now, if you see there, a small part is left out in the character. To select that, use Shift and select the particular area. It will select the place in just 1 second. If you try to delete the selection place, we will get a dialog box as before that it tells us to rasterize the layer. So right click the image layer and rasterize it. And now delete the area which we selected. That's it. Done. Without rasterizing, we can edit the image. For that, do the selection and you can see option called layer masking that should be selected. If we click the selected place, it will be removed without rasterizing the image, and the image quality remains the same because we did not rasterize the image. You can see that the selected place got removed, but it is been inverted. No need to worry. We have options for these. You can see an option called invert in the panel section. If you click that, the selection will get inverted. In the next video, we'll be seeing the use of layer masking and what is layer masking in Photoshop, and also about select and mask in the menu section. I hope this video will be helpful. Let's catch up in the next video. Thank you. Peace.